don't get me wrong. It looks cool. It's dark. Whatever, you know. But it's like, why are they redoing Batman another time? You know?
Hey man, just let it have money.
Like, Batman again? Again? Like, is this a new?
Hey, I'm down. Jeremy, we said
Share home. Hi everyone. The new Batman trailer. I mean, it looks cool, and yeah, I'll probably see it. Like, Batman's probably the only thing that I'll go see, except I didn't care for Ben Affleck. I didn't care for his. I mean, I didn't even watch it, honestly. Yeah, I just heard Ben Affleck. I was like, come on, he can do justice to Daredevil. Why is he allowed to be Batman? Yeah, I feel like he was another person too, wasn't he? That they're doing the Riddler, I guess. You know, it's like, I don't know. Hey, look, let's do a gritty version of Batman. Hey, look, let's do a grittier version of Batman.
Yeah. All right. Looks
Hey,
like
you know
the
what would be
stream's
cool?
rolling.
An even grittier version of Batman.
it's coming. You can count on it.
Oh yeah. It'll be in black and white, so you know it's good.
Right. Oh gosh. You just gave Hollywood execs a new
They're
idea.
like, oh,
Yeah.
get that down.
Ooh, black and white.
Ooh. All right. Looks like everything is rolling.
I mean, I will say this new Batman movie does not look very colorful, so it might as well just be in black and white. It's basically like a sepia overtone the whole time.
It's funny.
Ugh, whatever.
All right.
Batman. I'm tired of comic book movies. Of course, I've said that before, and then I got into, you know. Hi, welcome to the show, everyone. Thanks for hanging out. This is no caffeine negative Matt.
You sound so
right
tinny all of a sudden. I don't know what the deal is, but I don't know. It's all right. Don't mess with it. We'll do
You can
it.
fix that in post.
Yeah. Fix it in post like you do. All right. I'm gonna start my recording.
I should
Everybody,
be
let me know when you are recording, and I will we'll do a little sync clap here. So let me know when you're rolling.
Test. 1, 2.
I'm rolling. Everybody's rolling.
I am rolling as well.
All right.
Yes.
We're gonna do a sync clap, and it will be 1, 2, 3 clap. All right. Here we
Okay.
go. 1, 2, 3. Awesome.
Beautiful.
Okay. I think we're ready to do a show. You feeling good, Matt?
Am I ever feeling good? No.
Oh, okay.
But you know, am I ready to do a show? Yes.
Got my things ready. I had to slit NFT Shark.
Oh no!
Because my hand is too fat.
Did you? Way to go, fat hand.
Yeah, look at that. Bro.
Why would they?
What is this? A puppet for ants? All right. All right, let's do this. Starting it out. Here we go. What's up and welcome to another Mograph Mocast. I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt, and joining us today is the super talented Mr. Jake Ferguson.
Hey guys.
And Mograph is a supplement to our site, mograph.com, which is a motion graphics tutorial site with tutorials, plugins, podcasts, and other Mograph stuff. And on the show, we talk about everything ranging from motion graphics to Cinema 4D, After Effects plugins, render engines, doing business, doing taxes, being a contractor, or working for the man. You can email us info@mograph.com. Let us know what you think about the show. Questions, comments, concerns, queries, grievances, artist suggestions, topic ideas. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and mograph.com.
TikTok.
Get our
Don't stop.
TikTok numbers up, yo. We're trying to do some live streams on there. Please follow us on the TikToks.
Please do.
That would be
Even if you don't
amazing.
you know.
Even if you don't
even if you just
TikTok.
skip past us every single time.
Yes.
You know, at least just follow us so that we can do the live streams. Can we just buy
Be fun.
TikTok viewers? Can't we just do that?
Oh yeah.
You can
I'm sure.
can promote things to help you get followers. So maybe we should just put some BS videos on there, like, you know, police
Right.
chases or something, and then delete them once we get the followers.
Genius.
I don't know.
funny.
Have to do
So
something
good.
like that. So yes, no emails or anything this week. So
We had an email. It's just
we
in
have
the
some.
NFT section.
Yeah, it is in the NFT section from an old friend, Gaten. So
A
we'll talk
dear
about that.
friend.
OG. So we had a baby.
Well, not me and Dave, but
No.
Dave and his girlfriend had a baby.
No, yeah. So Julie and I had a baby.
Congrats!
Thank you.
So excited for you.
Charlotte Alora. I'll show you a little
Alora.
picture right here. Oh, yeah, there you go. There you go. She's doing well. She's eating, sleeping, and pooping like they do.
Yep.
And
I do those things too. She's practically an adult.
I know, but when that's all you have to do, isn't that the dream?
Seriously.
And all they do is cry, and it's the easiest they're going to have it their entire life.
Yep.
So we'll be talking about some parenting stuff, I'm sure, today. I think we got some fun parenting advice to probably give out to people. And,
between the three of us, I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll give everybody everything they need to know. And wanted to do some updates, too, on classes. First of all, if you are interested in the Mograph scholarship for either the Houdini course or the Unreal course, or know somebody that has a high cost or barrier to entry into one of these classes, please spread the word. We are doing a scholarship program that is still going. The deadline has been extended now to Halloween. We got some great Unreal ones. Didn't have as many Houdini entries as we thought we would. So if you know somebody who is not super noob,
dude,
but
and honestly, that class is awesome. It is so good.
It's very good, and it's 40 hours long. It's been updated for 18.5. Now I know that there are some Houdini 19 questions out there, and saw Mark the other day. Actually, we were talking about this a little bit, and we talked about, we are going to update things in the course, but the updates usually have to do with like an interface thing or something that changes, right? 19 comes out and now this button is over here or whatever it is. There'll either be a note or there'll be a video explaining things that might be different. What it won't go over and what won't be updated is like new things, like a karma render and crazy particle things that are brand new to the game, and that would be a new course. I'm sure Mark is just raring to just spend another 50 million hours in front of the computer doing that, but it's a possibility. I will say that Caitlin's course is so good, and it's so close.
I'm very excited about it. It was nice. What's cool about our platform that we use for all the courses and stuff is you can actually like AirPlay it to your TV, which is great. So with the Procreate course, I was streaming it from the website or whatever to my TV, and then following along with my iPad in bed. It was cool.
And the beta testers are just absolutely loving it. They had some great suggestions. They caught a lot of things. Like, a lot of them were like, "Do you want to know every little thing?" I'm like, "Yes, just put it in there. If it's something we can't address, we just won't address it, or we'll put a little marker or something, or a note." If it's something like that, if it's something we need to re-record, we'll do that, and we have. I am hoping that we can do this in the next 2 weeks. There's a lot that we have to do as far as re-edits. I got a meeting with Pickle Nick right after the show, but I'm working right now on the promo. The promo is going to be great. I love working on the promo stuff for these classes. It's really fun to make something super fun and just catchy, and I love that part. I love picking the music and doing a little 3D work, and I don't like
Dave enjoys being
bites,
creative,
but grabbing the sound bites is the hard part, because it's like you got to go through the entire course to get the one or two little this is awesome, or you're gonna love this, or whatever those little phrases may be. But I spent the entire weekend going through the course, pulling out all those things, going through all the changes. We're really trying to get this wrapped up, put a bow on it, ship it. And so check that out. And the scholarship, by the way, mograph.com/scholarship. I need to put some sort of link on the front page to it, although now it's a little bit late because we only have two weeks left. But please tell everybody about it, and send them a link. There are people that for example, are decent at motion graphics or Cinema 4D, and like you can tell that if they just went to the next level and hopped into Houdini, that they would be awesome, but maybe they aren't able to go to school or aren't able to buy a course or whatever it is, or in another country where like unfortunately there's not much we can do to regulate like the cost compared to income in other countries too. It's a hard thing to do because how do you even manage that? How do you even say, okay, well, this is affordable in the US at $300, but that's a month's salary in another country. How do you make that even? How do you make that fair? So we're trying to figure out answers to some of those questions, and one of those things we wanted to do is put that scholarship out there, so that people who can't afford it or have these barriers are able to check it out and learn and perfect their craft. So that's that. And then we got a WandaVision article. If you're on the site, mograph.com/news, check out the WandaVision article. We've had some great articles lately. And I think that wraps it up for the week wrap-up. Unless you have anything else, Matt, I don't know.
I mean, there's a ton of NFT stuff, but that's about it.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got some good NFT stuff to talk about today. I think it'll be a good segment in general. So, Jake, let's talk about you. Let's talk about
Jake.
You. Hello. What am I... Well, you were talking about before the show, the last time that you saw Matt. It's probably the last time I saw you, too. Was in... Was it Vancouver, Seagraph?
Yeah, Seagraph,
Vancouver,
2018.
Been a little while. At the time, I think you were coming out on behalf of Otoy.
Yeah,
right?
I was staff there at the time.
Yeah. So let's get to know you a little bit and talk about how you got into 3D render engines, rubbing elbows with Otoy.
Sure.
So where did you go to school?
I went to school at Ringling in
Sarasota,
Florida. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Cool.
What year was that?
I graduated 2016.
2016. So was that Joey?
Was Brodeur teaching
Brodeur.
then?
Yeah. Oh, that was
Brodeur?
a very, very thin, Venn diagram of Joey Corman teaching animation there. And
that's funny.
he was my foundational animation teacher my sophomore year. He introduced me to After Effects. He introduced me to Cinema 4D, and ingrained so many good habits that I still carry around. But yeah, he's amazing. Still a good friend.
Was that something that, like, how did you decide that that's what you wanted to do? Were you already into this before college, or was it something where you're like, I don't know what this is, I'll give it a go?
It was that. Literally, so before I went to college, I was a tattoo artist and a body piercer. And I, really had no end to computers or any of that. I always loved movies, but I wasn't planning on going to college. I was a tattoo artist in high school. I was planning on just rolling into that and staying in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So, I loved movies, though, really loved movies. And I knew I wanted to work on something that moved. I had no idea how, so I just kind of wrote it off as some dream that would never happen. But I was tattooing one night, and these two dudes walked in, and they were there for a Pucifer concert, and they were shooting Oblivion at the time in Baton Rouge, the Tom Cruise movie, and these two were set guys, and we got to talking. They wanted Pucifer tattoos. I'm like, that's rad, and they were talking about, just what they did. And they were, on set like fabricators. They did a lot of, rocks and stuff like that. They made a bunch of faux rocks and faux, materials. And just finishing in general. They would do a lot of, real life shaders, basically. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And I asked them, I'm like, who's your boss? Who do you report to? And they're like, well, we have a art director, and he comes up with all, our day-to-day and stuff. I'm like, who's his boss? And they're like, that's the production designer. He does the overarching of all the scenes and everything, and just comes up with the look and pulls the reference and time of day, stuff like that. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. Now I have titles that I can kind of, that's a little bit closer, this is slightly more tangible. And I didn't know shit at the time. I didn't know what anything having to do with onset was or what the steps to get there would be. So kind of fortuitously, a few months later, there was this portfolio convention in New Orleans, and where a bunch of different schools, like art schools and colleges, came out. I was a kid, man. I was like, how old was I at the time? 18, 17. And so I'm like, I had this really rich portfolio. Like I was a fine artist for my whole life prior to that point. It's like I had done photoreal portraiture and like charcoal and acrylic and stuff like that. I did a lot of watercolor. I was just a very tactile artist. Plus all the tattooing and everything is just another medium. So I was very well versed in the art world. And I was good. And so it's like I had this like cool portfolio. I just had no technical ability. I had never really touched a computer besides for video games. So I showed up there with my big fine art portfolio, and I'm walking around from booth to booth, and I'm asking each of the colleges, I'm like, what kind of major do you offer for somebody who wants to be an art director? And I didn't really clarify. I didn't say, if this was for commercial or on set or anything like that, because no, I didn't know that there were different types of art directors. I was so ignorant to all industries at the time that I just like went in with this very broad title, and it wasn't intentional at the time, but it served as like a litmus test for who I was talking to, because every one of those colleges, they're just like, I don't know, maybe graphic design, maybe film. And I'm like, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. And
they should have, but
you would think, you would think. And I rolled up to Ringling, and they're like, oh, you want to major in motion design? And I'm like, cool. And I didn't ask what it was or anything like that. And they were just like, yeah, you want to do that? And I'm like, okay, I like your confidence.
I do.
Yeah, that. And you could kind of get half approved for your application on the spot. They could check out your portfolio and say yay or nay to that. And then like if all the financial stuff went through, you'd be approved at that point, and you'd get your acceptance. Now, Ringling, I saw the tuition, I saw like everything. I'm like, there's no fucking way. I'm not going to get into this. Like, there's absolutely no way. It's like it's so outrageously expensive. It's not feasible for me. It's like, and also I don't know if they want somebody like me, yada yada. I wasn't like down on myself. I was just trying to be like realistic and like kind of prepare for the worst in case it didn't work out. So but I ended up getting accepted, and I was stoked. I was really stoked, and a lot of my family came together, and they helped put me through it, and they gave me that initial jumping off point, and I was just like, man, this is a huge deal. Like, I'm the first person in my family to like go to college. And so they really, really wanted me to go, and like they always like knew I had a lot of talent, and they always pushed me, and they were just like, you're a good artist. You should do things with your life. You can do things that like none of us have done. So, I was really excited about that. And it kind of put this motive in me to succeed. And this, it motivated me to just really kick ass when I got there, so I showed up I still had no idea what I was doing, what motion design was. I literally was just like yes to everything and just showed up. And I roll into my first class, and they're like, all right, you're going to be learning After Effects. And I'm like, cool.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Sure.
Let's learn how to animate, I guess. So I spent, a few months in lynda.com just familiarizing myself with the Adobe programs, because everybody else at that school already knew them. And I'm like, I got a lot to catch up on. And honestly, man, the first 2 years, I sucked. My work was not good, so and it's just like it wasn't even that it was technically bad. It's just like my taste was so off, and my ability to kind of know how far I was reaching. Like, all my projects were overly ambitious. They never got fully finished. I spent so much time.
Like my projects.
God, yeah, I'm still guilty of doing that. But it's like I just spent so much time, like all-nighters every single week, just trying to, like, I felt like I was like catching up, but like not even to anybody in particular. Like, I was just like felt like I was like catching up to myself, because it's like I'm coming out of one medium that I'm really strong in, and I'm never using that again. So I have to completely rebuild my technical skill set. but then, my junior year, I started getting pretty good. And my senior year, I felt very good. I had some really kick-ass internships. My sophomore year, after that year, I went to Toil in Boston as a company that Joey Corman actually started. And, he definitely helped me get that internship.
Yeah.
But those guys are great. It's like they set a lot of standards for me for studio life and just kind of how to interact professionally, and I did have some professional experience, but it's like that type of setting is just a lot different than anything else I was used to. And, just understanding the food chain in this kind of industry, where clients sit, where ad agencies sit, it's like what kind of work needs to get done. And just, it was a lot of stuff that they don't teach you in school that they still don't teach. It's just that kind of professional practice. So that was invaluable, and Boston is one of the coolest cities I've ever been to. If it didn't get so cold, I would love to live there, but I hate the cold. So here I am in California. And then, I went back to school my junior year and busted my ass to make a lot of cool stuff and try and learn a lot of new things. And then I landed a internship at Imaginary Forces my junior year. And
Rock on.
No big deal.
That
NBD.
kind of like from there on, I was like, all right, I need to, kick ass forever now.
Yeah.
I can't let this momentum go. Like that's a huge opportunity. So, I showed up there and I had some of the most amazing mentors I'd ever had. And I've had so many mentors throughout my life, just for artistically, I've studied under so many masterful, like truly masterful people. But, Michelle Doherty, Charles Corey, Dan Meehan, Karen Fong, like monsters, absolute like titans when it comes to this stuff, man. They've been doing it for so long and they just live and breathe like this amazing, not only work ethic, but just taste and good practice and just like the social ability of just like being so kind and forgiving and patient with it. Like, I don't know, I was over the moon. Every single day was just like an incredible blessing to be there and to be around such, immensely powerful artists. And then also to like meet all these crazy freelance artists that were coming in. But, I was an intern. I still screwed things up all the time, made people stay late, soaked up an entire render farm on the day before a job was being delivered and totally threw that for them. So that was cool, learned a lot of valuable lessons. But that was great. That was a really good internship. And then I went back to Ringling my senior year and made a couple theses with some buddies and graduated. And it's funny too, because I applied, I had a good portfolio. I honestly, I had like a good professional portfolio in school, and I applied to probably 120 places, around January 4th. To start working in the summer, so it's 6 months early just to get it in there. Maybe I applied too early because I heard back from 3.
Gee,
Wow.
Yeah, man. And I that's the only reason I say my portfolio was good, because I was hireable, definitely, but still, it's it's hard out there, man. It's really hard to get.
What was your work like at that point? Were you already heavy into 3D Octane texturing, all that?
Yeah. I had been using Octane for a year prior to that point, and I was good at it by then. And I could do matte paintings. I could do really good compositing. I heavily focused on compositing in school, and that's actually what led me into 3D, is just to make stuff to composite, because that's what I like doing the most.
Were you introduced to Octane at Ringling, or is this something you kind of figured out on the side?
No, they didn't have it. We only used the physical render.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you were doing like us, you were like, what is this Octane 2.0 thing?
It was people, man. It was
Yeah.
people. Yeah, we were following him already for a couple years. We're like, oh, this guy's been doing, everydays for a few years. It's pretty cool.
And you put 0 Day out probably around that time.
I think it was before that. Yeah, it was
0 Day?
It was a while. Yeah, definitely before 0 Day. Maybe 2 or 3 years before that, we were seeing his stuff. And we always thought he was kind of cool because he's just like, he's kind of nerdy, and funny, and like he just like made all this like really awesome stuff just for the sake of making it, and we were like, wow, this is great, this is
and he
like
shares it. He gave it
and
away.
he shares that was the coolest thing, is that like he had his site with all of his like his VJ loops and everything like that, and it was all Creative Commons, and we're like, this is not just inspirational from an art point, this is inspirational from somebody who's just able to make for the sake of making, coming from like a really high up art school where we just critique each other all day, every day, and we're so hard, and we're just like, why are you making this? What's the point of making this? Like, why is this good? Like, defend this. And he's just out there just enjoying making stuff, and I'm like, see, that's cool,
Yeah.
And he started using Octane, and we were like, man, this stuff has really cool glows.
Yeah.
What the hell is this? And I didn't even realize it at the time, because I bought like this prefab computer, and I'm like, oh I have an NVIDIA card. I could just get this, and I bought it. And like, oh my god, this is the coolest thing ever. I'm moving around and seeing what I'm doing, and I don't have to wait for the little boxes or anything like that. And it was slow, but it's like
still.
It was so good at the time compared to the physical render. It was a Ferrari. Like it was amazing. Yeah. So honestly, I've never done everydays or anything like that. And I kind of unintentionally, when I got Octane, I was like, all right, I just need to practice, So for the next like 30 days, I made like a bunch of random stuff every day, and I started posting it. And I was like, this is coming out cool. I know how to use this now, So from then on, and that was like summer 2015 when I first started using it. It became, my best friend. It was amazing. Like me and my friend Eric Demusi, he was working at I when I was an intern.
Did the Stranger Things title. Yeah, he's been on.
He's funny, man. I love that guy. But, he and I sat next to each other like my whole internship, and we always hit it off. And he and I got Octane at the same time. He was making his Boba Fett short film trailer thing, and I was just dicking around being an intern, and we were both like just freaking out over this. We're like, this is the craziest thing, because before that point he had done all of his VFX for his own films and everything, so I think he was always looking for a way to do it more efficiently and continue doing it by himself, because I know he loves having that creative control, and he just has such an immense technical ability and artistry. So we both really nerded out over that, and we ended up pushing I have to start using it a little bit. We started using it on some of our jobs, and we were just like I think I was using like a Radeon on like a Hackintosh at the time, I was just like, man, this isn't it. Like, we need to do something a little bit better.
Around that time, we were still on Mac. We had the big Mac Pro cheese graters, and we were retrofitting these graphics cards, these NVIDIA cards into them, and downloading the other driver, like you're not supposed to use these drivers, but here they are drivers. Yeah. And then hooking up the extra power supplies directly into them, all hacked up, and the side is off of it because you can't even put the side on anymore. Just
yeah, man. Like, those were exciting times. Like we felt like pioneers at the time. Like you're just discovering this.
I kind of like current day a lot more than
you can't go back.
Hacky Mac day.
There's something about being in your 20s, I think, that like makes you want to do that stuff. And then in the 30s, you get in the late 30s, and it's like, yeah, that was fun. That was fun, but don't have much extra time anymore. And when I installed that Octane demo, I was like, buying this right now. The demo for me lasted about 10 minutes, and then
straight up, it was the same for me. Yeah, it was just, I was so blown away by the tech. Such an enormous fan of it. And it just, I attribute so much of where I am to that software. Like that was it.
Yeah. Well, this is a good time to go to Ravcock. What's your flavor?
What's your flavor?
And we'll insert this in the middle of your story because
jam that right in there.
Because render engines, I'm curious though. Okay, tell us how you ended up at Otoy.
Oh man, yeah. So the story continues, and
yes, just keep going.
we'll
just say we're in Ravcock now.
So I graduated college. I got a staff position at Imaginary Forces. Went right back. Fell in love with it. Loved the people. Loved Santa Monica. Was great. So I was like, absolutely going right back to LA. And they had IF New York at the time, and I was thinking about going there, but again, hate the cold. So in California. But so I was when I got there, I was kind of sad to see that most of my friends were gone. They had some really heavy-hitting creative directors there, Miguel Lee, Charles Corey, and Dan Meehan, who were very technical creative directors. They would pitch on jobs, and then they would make the whole job just between them, and like not really hire anybody else to help. And they didn't do that with every job, but like there were a few that they did, and like I'm like, you guys are beasts, man. Like that's what I want to be. And they were gone. They had left. And so I was kind of bummed out about that. And they had all gone freelance. Miguel is a teacher at Art Center, and he has his own company, Midnight Sherpa. So he went to focus on that. And I think Dan and Charles both went to Elastic as freelance. And I don't know where they're at these days. So I was like, all right, who do I lean on? And I was like, oh shit, there's really not that many other like staff artists here. A ton of responsibility just like fell on me as soon as I walked in the door, and I'm like, oh my God, all right. We didn't even have a TD at the time. And I'm like, shit, I really need to, step this up. So again, became a huge, step in my career where I'm like, I need to catch up to something. I need to just like really like spend the time and kick ass. So, it was a ton of late nights, ton of jobs. Of course there was freelance help for everything. It's like, I'm not saying I did anything by myself ever, it's always just like, let's find some badasses to help get this done, because left to me, it wouldn't get done. That's not humanly possible with my skill set at the time. So we did a lot of really good stuff. And the following summer, 2017, there was this really cool job for Counterpart. It was a TV show that was coming out on Starz with J.K. Simmons about split realities and spy espionage. Awesome stuff, and we actually had pitched on it November of 2016, and production didn't start until summer 2017. But between those 2 points, we were doing pre-pro, and it was a very small budget job. We could only really get like myself and whatever interns we had at the time on it. And, we did a lot of design work for it. Felipe Carvalho, I'm sure you guys know him. He's a designer out of Portugal. He did the initial pitch with Karen Fong, and kind of set the mood for everything, and came up with a lot of design language. So all the designs we did going forward, we just riffed off of that. And Nathan Lee was a intern at the time, and he was a phenomenal designer, and he did all the designs with Karen Fong for like 6 months. That poor guy just worked into the ground, just doing all this stuff by himself. But it looked so good, and it's like it provided some awesome. And I kind of came in at the end, and shaped up a lot of the stuff that he had pushed forward. I did a lot of my own designs too, and just started building out scenes, which would eventually evolve into shots. And then we went into production, where we had another intern for the summer, which was Kyun Nam, who was a really good friend of mine from college, and I had known him the whole time I was at college. And I called him up. I'm like, hey, do you want an internship this summer? I need your help with this specific job. And he helped me that whole summer. And between he and I, we made that whole job together. We did every bit of animation for it. And that job went on to winning an Emmy, so that was awesome. Huge for us, it was huge for Philippe, because that was the first Emmy to ever go to Portugal. He met the president and shit. They had a parade for him.
That's funny.
Yeah, so it was a good time, man. It was like, that was a magical night, and it's like we were up against some really, really gnarly competition. We were up against the Alienist and oh my God, I'm spacing out so bad. I can't. We were up against Westworld. We were up against just a few other really heavy jobs, and I had so many friends at the time that were all like had all worked on all of those jobs, so it's like we found out that we were all nominated, we were like,
Right.
oh, that's great, but like we are all sitting in the audience hoping our job would win.
Right.
So anyway, so at that point, I was like, it was nice to finish that job at IF, but I was a little burnt out, and I had been doing freelance prior to that point. And one of those freelance clients that I had was Otoy. And my friend Tyler Hecox, he was doing freelance for them, and he had called me on for a job, and that's kind of how I got introduced to them. And he's like, can you roll by Otoy tonight and just like come talk to them about this job? And I'm like, sure, man. I guess, yeah, that sounds fine. I don't have anything else going on. I could do some side work. And I'm like, Otoy, great, yeah. It's like I'm a huge Octane nerd. Like I would love to see, where everything's made. And I roll up, and somebody lets me, like, I walk out of the elevator and I have to get escorted in. And this guy rolls out, and he's got a hoodie, he's got like a scruffy beard and crazy hair and just like this crazy look in his eye. I'm like, what's up, dude? And he's like, oh, hey, are you Jake? You can come this way, they want to talk to you. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, so what's up, man? Like, who are you? What do you do here? And he's like, oh, I'm Jules Urbach. And I'm like,
Yeah.
And I'm still such a kid. I'm like, who? I didn't say that, but it's like rolling in there.
It's like, right on.
Yeah, I'm like, cool, man. Yeah, nice to meet you and everything. And my friend in there, and he's like wide-eyed when Jules walks in the room, walks out, and he's like, that's him. And I'm like, that's who?
That's the guy.
So anyway, I get going on these jobs with them. We have a good working relationship, and we go through a few freelance jobs and everything. It's like, man, it's like I'm pretty comfy with y'all. Like, you got some cool stuff going on. And I was getting burnt out at the time. There wasn't that many staff artists. There was a lot that I was doing. I was juggling about 3 jobs at the same time at one point. And it was a lot, because I was the lead on a lot of stuff, so I felt very personally responsible for a lot of things. And I would go home thinking about it. And, it's like I put myself in this position because I was still so green. Honestly, I didn't communicate a lot of my own boundaries. I never said that I was uncomfortable with a lot of things. So eventually, Otoy was like, hey, we need a staff art director. Do you want to be staff here? And I'm like, maybe. And they made an offer, and I'm like, okay, yeah, definitely. And I moved to downtown LA, like 2 blocks from the office, and I worked there for about a year, and it was one of the most interesting jobs I've ever had. It was very cool, very strange, but very cool.
What would you do on a regular basis there? Because like I don't understand even what that position would be at Otoy.
I still don't know what that position was, but I had a great time. And
just the artist representative, basically, right? You're just like,
yes. So I was kind of the liaison between Otoy and well-known artists, and I would talk to them. I would, secure their work for trade shows. I would, do whatever I needed to there. Honestly, it's like that place always has so much going on with so many clients you will never even hear of.
Yeah.
Like, and just interesting interactions, like being on email chains with like J.J. Abrams and answering C4D questions because he's an Octane user and he does it for fun. And I'm like, okay. Or, Joel Zimmerman, which, I'm sure you guys know.
Right. Yeah.
So, it was just a lot of little things here and there. But, the actual responsibilities were pretty centered around a lot of the trade shows. It's like getting ready for SIGGRAPH, getting ready for GTC, getting ready for, whatever else. And it would just be kind of amassing the artwork that we could show, doing demos that could be shown on the floor, and like
taking criticisms from Mograph podcast. Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, don't even get me started on like the C4D help desk emails that I would have to get through a lot, and just like, I was just kind of their C4D guy at the time,
Yeah.
I was never super technical. I'm not Beppe by any means, dude. Beppe is like his
Or
own
Ahmed.
entity.
Ahmed
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
Oh my
exactly.
gosh! Like,
Dude, I would just get emails and I would just hit those two up and be like, "Can you guys solve this?" And then I can take credit for the solve and let them know how to do this.
yeah,
But
Ahmed. Like I don't even know. Like, does he have a whole team working for him, or is he just a one man show? It's kind of like this.
he knows, man.
Show, right?
He's a myth.
Man,
He's literally he's just out there just doing it.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know
Turkey,
reason. I
right?
don't know. As I think so. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Wow.
But yeah, it's funny. Like I got a hold of him via Facebook Messenger. Like I'm like, we both have Otoy emails. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's still I'm messaging you on Facebook.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So outside of trade shows, there was a ton of downtime. You know, I had some fun, people there that I was working with at the time. You know, Billy Brooks was there, and he was kind of like the Otoy or Octane Lightwave guy. Clay Sparks was, dude,
Love Clay.
he's like one of my closest friends, man. I love that guy. And just to let you know of the experience there, that was a year of Clay and I in a room together with a closed door.
Yeah.
It was just the two of us sitting in there, like most of the time, just like messing around with scan data or, just sharing cool, like watching movie trailers, watching movies, just like it was
Dreaming
fun.
about
It was
the holodeck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. And occasionally, something really cool like VR would come in and we both like get together and work on it, or like some AR stuff. And we had jobs. They were just like, like projects and gigs. They were just,
Yeah.
there. But outside of that, there was a ton of downtime, and I was working on like such an expensive computer. And I was just like, man, I'm just going to mess around and like learn a lot of Octane stuff and get better, and like work on
that was the thing, man. Like Ariev, when we went to whatever show where we saw you kind of for the first time, I don't even think we met you at that particular show because you were like on a pedestal over here with the, on the Otoy machine.
It was Nat 2017.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. God only knows at this point. Yeah, but you were there at the Maxon booth representing Otoy. And showing stuff off. And Arya was like, dude, this guy, like, what he does with textures and materials and Octane stuff is amazing. It's like, oh, I can't talk to him. He's too powerful.
That was fun, man. Yeah, everybody got to come up and we just got to look at like, I was just messing with skin stuff, I think, at the time, just metals. And I think triplanar projecting came out kind of recently, so it's just like showing kind of how you can do some cool procedural rust and like all this other stuff, and just
that's back before we could Triforce.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it was a fun time. I really loved working there, and I when I left, I was what did I do? I wanted to go freelance when I originally left Imaginary Forces, but Otoy swooped me up. That was my plan, was to go freelance anyway. So it just kind of got offset by a year, and then I went freelance kind of the end of 2018. And my first gig was at Elastic doing Captain Marvel with them, and that was a lot of fun. That was my second Marvel gig at the time. It was I always told myself, I'm like, I will do one Marvel show and one Marvel feature, and then I'm never touching one of their jobs ever again. And rightfully so. It's like very cool work, very hard people to work with.
I bet it's scrutinized. It's
oh my God, it's just so demanding, dude. It was like, I worked 50 days straight. I took off for the Super Bowl, and that was about it. And it was fine, made a ton of money, but it's like, at what cost? Like, how many years did I shave off my life with those 50 days? But, it's like, honestly, that's just another kind of lesson for me on a long string of lessons of just professional boundaries. And, that being the most important thing you can do professionally is just setting boundaries and pacing yourself and being realistic with yourself, and not overpromising and not,
Yeah.
putting yourself out there for something that is going to damage you, mentally, physically, like you really like prioritizing your health and mental health. It's vital,
Yeah.
it's like, what are you going to do if
and
you're,
it's hard to even understand. Like, you hear people talk about it. Oh, I worked this gig and it was so draining, and then something like that happens to you, and then you're like, okay, I get it now. Like,
exactly.
I'm
It's
never
really
letting
something
that
you have to
happen.
do.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
have you been to have you been back to Otoy recently? Or
No, I haven't been in there. Oh my God, when's the last time I was in there? Probably to pick up my last check, honestly. I still lived next to them for like another 2 years, and I saw Clay and Jules all the time just going to the grocery.
Yeah,
So
that's funny.
we were neighbors, but and I would hang out with Clay a lot, and but being actually back in the office, no, I've heard it's changed a lot though.
Yeah, they're remodeling. We were there about a month ago or so.
Yeah,
and
they're
the
putting in a staircase.
staircase
like,
where the
They
logo is
cut a hole
outside.
right in the middle of the floor, and now it's.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, it's
Did
cool.
they buy the floor below?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the main what room is that? When you come in the door, that room right there is now
The
turf.
really, really long one.
The well, when you you walk in, and then to the right is kind of like that conference room,
There-
or where that conference
used
room
to be-
was.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was
But
a
there's
conference
turf.
room.
He put turf
Yeah,
down on the
there's-
floor.
you just put
my
turf
God.
down.
It's
on
like
the
grass.
That's
floor.
amazing.
Cool.
Yeah,
I love
it's
that.
awesome.
Is it for Susie? Is it just for Susie?
I have no idea.
His little white dog.
I don't know. It might
I don't
be.
know. I don't know. I saw the dog. The dog was nice.
It's a cute dog. Yeah, it's funny, man, because like, since I was so close, I would stay there pretty late, and they had such a better computer than I did at the time.
Yeah.
And it would be like 2 a.m, and there'd be nobody there, and I'd turn around and like 100 feet away, like there's just this little white dog, like
Just
standing,
staring.
staring at me, like with like a spotlight on it. Basically, I'm like, I think that means it's time for me to go home.
It points up a paw and a finger and just points it
Basically.
right at you.
Yeah, and Jules would also be wandering around, and he'd stop by, and we'd talk a lot, and that's kind of how he and I got close. Such a sweetheart, man. Yeah, I do miss working with them. They were a really special bunch. They had just a personality and imagination that you don't see anywhere else. And just this genuineness. I'll always value my time at Otoy. I'm happy I left. I'm happy I'm not there anymore. But I loved being there, and it was just a very good place.
And Jules and his background and his his Marvel and Star Trek background and all of that, and the holodeck and all of that, and we had the render wars. I feel like the render wars have kind of like at least come to a treaty for now.
Yeah, basically.
The new thing though is gonna be the RT wars.
Yeah.
So you got Unreal, and then you have the render engines that are going to real time, Redshift RT and Brigade. So looking forward to Brigade.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude! Finally, it's like I've
Yeah.
known about Brigade like for years and years and years, and I'm like, okay, finally this is coming out, because it's like all the tests that they would show all the time at GTC, and like all the like we had access to a lot of stuff in the office too. It's like we were messing around with a lot of stuff like that, and it's just like finally. You guys are making this
a lot
for
of it's so like the technology finally catching up to
exactly
the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's what's kind of amazing about Jules. He's got this like crystal ball that he tells nobody about, where he can see like 10 years into the future and talk about it as if it's the present. And people are talking to him like, "What the hell are you talking about, man?"
Right.
And then it like comes true, and it's like, God damn.
You're like,
man.
oh, I get it now.
Yeah, that's not a crystal ball. It just happens to be his brain.
The holodeck, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an extraordinary human being, truly. I've never met somebody anywhere near his caliber.
Yeah.
Just being around him, it's like you get it. You felt it, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. It's so hard to
feel
even,
that energy.
You feel the energy, and you're trying to just keep track of what he's saying, because it's like I'm gonna miss
my God.
something. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how he even thinks of it that fast, because I can't even comprehend it that fast.
Yeah. The best thing you can do is just nab onto something that makes sense and hold on to that. Don't forget that one thing, and then maybe next time you talk to him, you'll get another little nugget of the future.
Well, the first time that we ever had him on the show, oh my gosh, I could not even, I didn't understand half of it. Now I feel like I understand a little bit more, or at least kind of know.
I feel like I understand most of it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You become a little bit more fluent. It takes practice, It's like learning a new language.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely.
He's a good guy.
He's put out some previews of a couple things on Facebook, and I know that his talk is coming up this month or next. I don't remember exactly when, but they've got the photon tracer kernel and the brigade kernel coming, and then stuff like toggle real time on and off and all that. So we're gonna have him on. It's the Monday after Thanksgiving. He'll be on to talk about that because he'll have done his talk by then. And we're really going to be able to pick his brain, I think, a little bit about Brigade. I'm so excited. And it looks like some of it's worked out. Like maybe a year ago when we spoke, I think, he was talking about the fact that Brigade couldn't currently do volumes and a couple other things. And now he said it does. And I'm like, man, like, this is going to be between Redshift RT beta and this Brigade thing, like... you've got Unreal, and we were over at Barton Damer's last week, and we were talking about some of the real-time stuff, and he made a great point. He's like, we don't have to go seek out real-time. Real-time is going to find us.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
and
it's going to be inescapable pretty soon.
Yeah. Because everybody's like, oh, I got to check out Unreal, or I'm not going to be able to do this stuff. And it's like, really? Or you could just keep doing what you're doing and not have to learn something new, and you're probably going to be fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's always been my philosophy. Look at GPU renders. It's like it used to be so niche and so few studios had it, and then just all of a sudden, if you don't have it, it's like, what? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
How many CPU renderers or studios are there currently?
Straight up, man.
And how many projects are you going to work on, possibly, depending on what kind of an artist you are, that won't even need anything but Brigade? Somebody needs a very quick product render done or something, and it looks like just fine.
Jobs.
You're not going to switch back over to 1 minute a frame. You're going to go to real time.
Yeah, straight up, man. Yeah, it's like I've always, the shops that I've worked at and the stuff that I've done for my side work, it's all been very skeleton crew based projects, where it's like, we don't have that much money, we don't have that much equipment, we just need to make a very small amount of something look very expensive and look very cool, So, and I still do that, I'm so used to not using a render farm, it's like I hack so much shit together to make quick render times, and like you do so, and like I said, I'm a compositor, it's like I come from a compositing background, so I think in layers, I think in compositing, I think in this looks terrible coming out of CG, but I already know what terrible is going to turn into, so I can like compensate for that, but
just run it through Topaz and throw a bunch of filters on top.
Call it
of
a
day.
Yeah, so I'm excited for real time. I think it's going to be cool, and just being able to go, balls to the wall with a lot of stuff that like already I had to optimize, I'm stoked, it's going to be very cool.
Yeah, it will be. I was just my to change the subject a little bit and kind of stay on the subject. My brother was just texting me. He's like, "Are you watching the Apple event?" Apple just announced a bunch of new like laptops. On the 18th.
Oh yeah.
It's not the AR stuff that you were also telling me it was going to be.
Well, this is I was kind of joking because I knew this is when the new MacBooks were supposed to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just announced a bunch of MacBooks and stuff,
That's cool.
They were showing off Cinema 4D, and they were also showing off Octane standalone and stuff. And it was like, oh, that's cool.
I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
real
that would be what. Yeah, I got an email from Jules this morning. He's like, "Make sure you watch this today."
Yeah.
Like, that's why.
That's funny.
I see. Yeah, we'll have to pull that up, put that in the notes for next week. Hopefully, there's a clip of just that part we can clip and show.
Yeah, it's like right here. It was right when I turned it on. My brother was saying
funny.
they're showing a lot of Cinema 4D.
Oh, that's
good.
cool.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you had a kid not too long ago.
I did.
When was that?
That will be 3 months ago this week.
Okay,
It was,
3 months.
July
Okay.
23rd. Yeah.
Y'all are in the thick of it, man.
Mhm.
My kid just turned like 19 months or whatever. He's about to turn 2. I'm in
19
I'm in
months. I don't
Cake
understand.
Town now.
So
Oh, yeah,
one.
you know?
So your kid is 1.
Yeah. No. Dude, there's a huge difference between like months when you're whatever. You haven't had to deal with this for what, 11, 12 years or
12
something
years.
like that?
Yeah, but still,
12
even
years.
so, I'm just like, they're 1.
No.
Or they're 2.
Yes, my kid is 1, but there is a big difference between 12 months and 23 months.
Yes,
is
my
a
kid is
huge
436
percentage
months
thing.
old.
It's a huge. Yeah, once you get to 2, then you can stop.
Yeah,
Anyway.
man, I'm noticing the difference between weeks at this point. So
Yeah,
yeah,
seriously.
like, they are crazy little things, man. But
Yeah.
I see why people call it a miracle, man, because it's like you're looking at this and it's like, we made you. Like, you are a brand new human, dude. Like,
Yeah.
you didn't exist before.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The craziest render of all time, dude. I'm
Yes.
just like- but yeah, no, just a lot
Definitely
of-
not real time.
No,
No.
God. Yeah, just 9-month render, no big deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like, yeah, between the shitting and screaming and eating and sleeping and shitting and screaming and eating, like, it's my life. But yeah, I took a 2-month paternity leave, which was really nice.
that's
And
nice. That's a
that's
long
about the
time.
longest that I've gone without working since I started working. So
Yeah.
that felt cool. And that kind of, I freelance full time, so I've always wanted to be one of those people that only works for like 9 or 10 months out of the year. So I think that kind of, dialed back the fear.
That decision.
Yeah. I was always scared. I'm like, oh, I need money constantly coming in order to survive, and I'm like, you know what? If I'm gonna miss work, this is the best time to do it. And
Yeah.
shit, I was fine. So maybe I'll just start doing that. And hopefully when we can travel again, I can use all these travel points that I've racked up from not leaving the house for the last 2 years.
Yeah, for sure.
That's, man, 2 months is tough. I enjoy some time off. I enjoy like if I'm like, okay, I need a day off. This is gonna be my day off. This is the day that I'm gonna like do nothing and play video games and whatever, right? But after a day, I'm just like,
I don't
what
know.
do I do now? Surf TikTok? Like I'm,
Yeah,
in the
if you're
age
at
of COVID,
home.
in the age of
If
COVID, you're at home.
but like,
yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know,
especially
man.
with y'all and y'all's new babies or whatever. Me, I'm like, get out of the house. I'm ready to like go somewhere.
Same.
And I took
I'm
about 2
looking to-
weeks, not a full 2 weeks, but like my second week, I was like 2 hours a day,
Yeah.
and starting to kind of get back into the swing. And
Right.
it's not that I don't enjoy that time, but then there's the point where I'm just like, I am sitting and watching TV now,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, I just have the bug to go do something and not just sit here.
Right.
And
Yeah.
some people are like that, some people aren't, but like I can only take so much. I feel like after 2 months, I would just not to know what to do with myself and my to-do list. And the email, like, how does your email not pile up in 2 months? Like, how do you handle that?
I'm sure you check your email, right?
Oh
You
yeah,
got it on your phone.
yeah. I sit there replying to my email. Yeah, it's funny too. It's like every time that I'm off or I just get like a big booking or something, that's when like everybody and their mother starts emailing
Yeah.
me. It's like, hey, you free? Like, hey, it's like, I mean, I've been doing this for the last year. I push people off quarterly at this point. I'm like, check back in, Q3,
Yeah.
Q4, maybe we'll get something in there. But I love and I hate this about myself, but I could retire tomorrow and never work again and be as happy as a clam. Like occasionally, sure, make some like 3D stuff, but it's like,
If I had the money to do it, you better
Yeah.
believe I would do it
damn
in a
right.
heartbeat.
Yeah.
That's
like,
all I'm working towards right now.
Straight
Yeah.
up, man. I'm the same way. I just like I love my job. I'm super blessed to like have a job that I both love, that I'm good at, and that makes money. But it's still a job. I'm still,
Yeah.
doing stuff for other people and doing stuff
Yep.
like at the bidding of clients. So, it's like it's the most amount of freedom that you can have, but it's still not,
If you were
I
gonna
could-
do like your own thing, what would it be? Because you would probably would you do like a short film, or what would that thing be?
Go back
that
to
you
tattooing.
Oh man, I would
or a
play
3D
games
video
all day,
about
every
tattooing?
day. No, I'd literally play video games all day. No,
There you go.
yeah.
Just be a Twitch streamer, right?
Yeah, no,
Oh yeah.
I'm so envious of those people. For one, I don't have the personality for it. For two, if I started monetizing it, it might not be as fun. And
for sure.
But you
but
should give it a go. Just try not to be like, mash that like and subscribe button.
yeah,
Ding that bell. Come on.
It's about that time.
Yeah.
But I have so many cool music videos in my head. I would definitely go make some of those. I like just amazing
I'm right there with
3D character-driven music videos, and the character pipeline is just getting so much more accessible, and that's always been my biggest personal fascination. Like I don't really post a lot of my personal stuff. I don't really make a ton of personal stuff anymore, but I did recently learn XGen. I learned it in Maya for grooming and hair. It's like that's what people use for hair, for all hair. And that I used Flip Normal's XGen intro to XGen. It was like learning Chinese overnight. Like seriously, 10 hours and you'll know it. And I had never used Maya up until that point, and I literally got it just
that's double difficult.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought it would be awful, and it wasn't. Like Maya was always this big scary thing in the distance. I had only opened it in the past and then closed it really fast from anxiety. But it's, if you're doing one thing in it and nothing else, it's not that scary, But no, like it was great learning how to do that, because hair was, I love doing people. I love doing faces, and photoreal faces, but hair was always a huge, like thing for me, and it's like, you can only do so much with Daz hair, and it's like, motion designers, we like to take a lot of stuff and just put it together.
And step one is, I'm not good at faces, so I'm going to do an astronaut, because then I don't have to show the face. Step two is, I'm okay at faces, but I'm not good at hair, so everybody's going to be bald.
Bald guy,
or
have a big like helmet or a hat or something. So it's like, it's just nice to now be able to do it, and do that stuff. And honestly, it's like, there's Bo.
Oh, baby.
That's my little Bo. But it's like, being able to do that now, it's very cool. And eventually I do want to make some more portraits, because I know I have it in me to make some really, really cool ones. But it's like
cool stuff right there. What did you use for that?
For
these ones?
Oh man. So this project, oh my God, it was such a doozy. So this was pre-COVID. This was 2019 is when we made this, and it was for the Olympics for 2020. And SK2 is a Japanese makeup company, and they came to us. They're like, hey, we want to showcase all these kick-ass women in the Olympics. We have this whole campaign of beauty not being a competition, and just like preserving people's natural beauty, inner strength, all this stuff, and nothing to do with makeup. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. And they also had purchased the biggest advertising space in the Olympics out of everybody, And so we're like, okay, we have, a shit ton of money. We want to commission these 6, Love, Death, and Robots type films, and make this like anthology about these 6 different female athletes. And, there were some really badass companies that worked on, Platige did one of them. We did 2 of them at IF. And they were all different styles, all different concepts and everything. But the one that they, really kind of roped me into was the one for the Japanese surfer, because this is the first Olympics that they were doing Olympic surfing, and the Japanese surfer, Mahina Maeda, she, was born in Japan and a Japanese citizen, but she grew up in Hawaii. That's cool. She's a phenomenal surfer and super cool human being. So, they wanted to make a piece about her, and, each concept was influenced by the real life struggles of this athlete. So Mahina's biggest struggle was kind of, having her own beauty standards in Hawaii. And then when she went to Japan, realizing that they had this very long lineage of traditional beauty standards that she didn't really identify with, you know. So it's like coming to terms with, you know, this like social beauty standard and her own. So we came up with this concept where basically she's like the 2D version of her is in this Japanese temple in Edo period Japan, and it's not really much of a temple, it's more of a school, like a beauty school, and she you know, is to go through these lessons to learn what is beautiful. You know, it is beautiful to have your hair done up. It is beautiful to, you know, speak softly, to walk softly and slowly. Just all these very traditional things, you know. And through the whole film, she's kind of, you know, not real like affiliating with any of these. She's like none of these are me. Like does this mean that I'm not beautiful? Like all this stuff, you know. And the whole meantime, you know, it's like a gilded prison, you know. It's like she's kind of trapped in this place to learn these things, but the outside there's this suspended like wave, like huge wave, and she catches it out of the window a few times, and she's like, man, that's drawing me in. That's something that I want. That's not traditional beauty, but something in me wants to be out there, you know. And eventually, you know, the instructor in the palace, you know, is like, you know, this isn't you. You're not really any of these things. And she busts out of there and she goes to the wave and she surfs the wave. And then, like, you know, the instructor and all of, you know, her peers are like supporting her at the end of it. And they're like, beauty is, you know, what you make it out to be. It's your inner strength, you know. And so that's like a loose concept behind the whole thing. So it's like we came up with that concept and we're like, what kind of style do we do for this? You know, because it's like Edo period Japan had these, and the other, you know, feudal eras of Japan had these gorgeous screens that would go and just walls in general throughout their castles and palaces that were these gorgeous like paintings with gold leaf and just really intricate stuff that were always, you know, stories of culture and, you know, just beautiful scenery and just little impressions of trademark Japanese culture. And we're like, okay, how do we utilize something like that? You know, so we came up, Henry Chang is staff at IF. He currently lives in Taiwan, and he is like a sleeper cell. Like some of the best stuff you've ever seen produced by Imaginary Forces was that guy. He makes so much for them, and he is one of the most powerful artists I've ever worked with, you know. So he and I, you know, we were the first people on that job. We pitched it, we kind of sold across the style, and he's so technical 3C wise, and you know, so like between he and I, we came up with just this technical path on how to do this, and we tested it a little bit, but there were so many things that had to happen in order to like really test it that we never could. We only had to like come up with it and hope that it would work in production. Luckily it, and mostly because a lot of that was revolving around mocap, you know. So we had to like do like some light test with like some stuff that we could grab off Mixamo, but then it's like we had to wait for our actual mocap shoot in order to get a lot of the assets to work. So basically what we wanted to do is we kind of our mission statement is like we wanted to have a 3D kind of realistic background. And when I say realistic, like still very stylized, and you can see it in some of the style frames that I had posted, but there was a lot of like, you know, reflections would work. There was real materials and everything, real like fall off and volumetrics, but we wanted our characters to be 2D, you know, and we didn't have the budget to do full cell animation. There was a ton of moving fabric for all the costumes and everything. So we're like, we have to use Mixamo. We have to use like either Sketch and Tune or Cell Shader or something, you know, and we just really pushed the limits of 2D, 3D to get this to work. You know, we had an intern at the time whose name was Ella Lee, and she was able to take our, you know, Mahina's face, her real life face, and then take kind of this reference painting that we got from a Japanese painter who painted Mahina in this really cool 2D style. And Ella was able to repaint her from every angle. So we had reference for her face. we got a cell animator to, animate all the facial expressions in this style and make like a UV of just her a static face doing all the expressions. And then we put it on the 3D character, and we did a whole Mixamo thing. Henry took all these real life kimonos and the obi belt and every asset, and was able to put it, like, tailor it in Mixamo and make these like perfect outfits, and then we figured out good methods to render it and everything, and we would render out the face flat just with that, and we would do this cool, like, kind of brushy lighting on the face just in After Effects, just by using masks and levels and stuff. And yeah, it was the most raggedy pipeline I've ever worked on, but yeah, the result there, I've never seen anything like it. It's like, it was just such a cool collaboration.
And doing anything with mocap, like, I haven't really done much mocap at all, and I want to, but also I don't want to, because I kind of know it is not an easy process.
Such pain, dude. Yeah, there was, some really cool little methods here and there that we learned. My friend Russ Gauthier, he
love Russ.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
Dude, Russ is such a sweetheart.
Yeah.
He's staff at IF. We've done a ton of stuff together. But he was like, I'm like,
I'll be
Russ,
right back.
I don't know how to stick something to a mocap face. Like, I don't know how to, like, parent to a point of a moving alembic. He's like, well, you probably do an FBX. Man, all we have is Olympics. Like, that's all how I have to do it. And he's like, okay, here's what you do. And he was like, find a point on the face, isolate that point with a selection, and then use a cloner and just, like, clone an object and use that point as the object and just clone one thing and it'll just stick to it. And I'm like, holy shit. So I could do, like, a custom head onto, like, a mocap thing or whatever else, and I'm just like, man, just little stuff like that, like little discoveries. Yeah, and just like, this is how it's done, But this was a 6-minute film, and there was like a handful that made it, man. And, like, render times honestly weren't bad because it was, like, very 2D, but still 6 minutes. 6 minutes. It was a doozy. We were all doing like 30, 40 shots. And then I graded and did the final composite on the whole thing at the end, and I've never had a beefier After Effects project. The entire thing, not even just like rendered shots to be graded, every single shot was in there in pieces, so it's like you go in there and you'll find the original 3D sequence of any given shot. Like that whole project collected just out of After Effects was 1.5 terabytes.
Jeez.
It's insane, yeah.
Oh,
but it was fun. It was cool to be able to grade that stuff. I had just gotten a new HPZ monitor, and that was phenomenal color at the time.
It's like the project is 1.5 terabytes, and now we got to back it up. So
that's their problem.
Buy another drive.
Yeah, that was the days that I was voting in. I was just like, yeah. Never again am I doing something like that. Like, that project was a doozy, but I loved it. The project's super special to me.
Yeah. But we'll link to all of that stuff in the show notes. I do want to go to Mograph Recommends, but first I wanted to mention a couple links. We already talked about Houdini 19 sneak peek and the live show of whatever what would you call it? The presentation of all the new features and stuff was going on about an hour ago. So we'll put a link to that video as well once that's done. Also, I wanted to mention specifically this this one Vimeo link called Colors and Shapes. It is by Mac Miller. I'll bring it up here. And I saw Ariev posted this yesterday, actually, and it is just absolutely phenomenal. I'll bring it up after the ads, of course. There's always ads. And also, of course, I don't want to show the whole thing because you know how YouTube loves to flag people for all the things. But I wanted to show you just a taste of how incredible this looks because, first of all, I have an appreciation for anybody that can do animal animation, but this is next level. This is next level. And a lot of people worked on this. It just wasn't just one person.
Damn.
But I'm going to put a link to this in the notes, because if you have not seen this, just mind-blowing what it must have taken to do this piece. I mean, the amount of work on the dog alone is so good. And so that'll be in the notes. That's all you get to see, because I don't want to get flagged.
Jesus, that's insane.
But we will now go to Mograph Recommends. This is going to be the section where we ask you about your favorite things. I'm going to use the restroom, and Matt's going to start you out, because I can't hold it any longer. I've been looking all the things.
That's why I had to leave.
Yeah. But we will start out with your favorite movie.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite movie.
Your favorite movie.
Yes.
My favorite movie.
I have a guess.
Okay, let's hear it.
What type? Well, there's if you're gonna pick some obscure movie that I've never heard of, which that might be the case, or you may say if you're going to pick a mainstream movie, I have an idea. But go ahead.
Let's hear your mainstream guess.
No. I want to hear, because if I'm way off, I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Well, honestly, it's like my favorite movie. It shifts around a lot. It depends on my mood, and but my go-to at any point that I could always watch is The Revenant, man. Like,
okay,
anything by NR2 is just like that. That's my go-to. I love his work. I love everything he does. Beautiful is amazing. Birdman was amazing.
Birdman was great.
Oh my God, it's such a good movie.
Such a good movie.
Yeah, I'm kind of blanking. I feel like I saw something kind of recently that I really loved. But it's so hard, because it's like it's like asking me my favorite music. It's like it depends on what I'm into, but it's like there's a lot of stuff that's up there that's really good. Like Moonlight, phenomenal movie. Just about like, I love A24 films. It's like they never miss. Like a lot of people I know talked a lot of shit about The Green Knight. Loved The Green Knight. That was great. But yeah, I mean, if I had to pick my overall favorite forever, The Revenant, for sure.
Cool. I don't think I've ever seen it.
What?
Yeah, sorry.
Yo. Oh my God! Do yourself a favor and like darken the whole room. Biggest screen you got, loudest speakers you got. Just immerse yourself. You will lose yourself in that camera work. That movie's phenomenal, because they never.
Oh, that's the one that Leo won an Oscar for.
Yes, like
right? Okay.
it's because he ate during the movie. But
yes, I haven't seen that either. Now I remember.
Holy shit! You two will lose your minds. Like.
Okay.
And keep in mind that 100% of the film is natural lighting, and they didn't use any lighting at all that wasn't natural.
I didn't know that.
Really?
And they filmed half of it in Canada, and then the ice started to melt, and then they had to finish the rest in Argentina. So,
okay.
And it's all supposed to be in like Missouri.
Okay.
I had no idea it was all natural light. That's impressive.
I mean, did they use bounce cards? Or at least,
I mean,
I'm sure they
feel
had
like
to.
that would be acceptable. That wouldn't be cheating, right?
Yeah, but they didn't haul any lights around. They just hauled a bunch of cameras around. And when you see the locations, and I mean, it's like, how Birdman, how like it doesn't break much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do a lot of that in this. I mean, this is kind of NR2's thing, or I guess Chibo's thing. But man, that film is just. There's no time where I won't watch that, and be thrilled. I think I saw that shit in theaters like 7 times. Like I was just like, I can't get enough of this.
What about TV shows? While we're on that note, anything you've been watching?
Oh, TV shows.
Squid Games or something?
Squid Game was great. I love Squid Game.
Is it overrated or is it good? I think
it's great. Yeah. Oh my God, it was great. Yeah, but I love, any. It sounds weird, but it's like almost every Korean movie or show I've watched is phenomenal. It's like I've been going back and watching a lot of Bong Joon-ho's movies during the pandemic. And then Parasite, when that came out, we watched that. And I was like, wow, this is great. And I went back and watched The Host and watched which was great. And I had never seen Snowpiercer, and that was good, even though that was very
awesome,
super cool. It felt like it had like a lot of like corporate grubby hands on it for some of the creative decisions, but it was still very good.
Yeah.
And Memories of Murder was also great. Oh my God, such a good one. But I'm the thing that kind of like Squid Game is great, but it's taking a lot of all the attention, and a lot of people are missing Midnight Mass. Like, dude, Midnight Mass is one of the coolest dark thrillers, and like I guess you could consider it horror, but it's a Netflix original, and it's by the same guy who did Haunting on Hill House, which was terrible.
Yeah, it's not the zombie thing that's out right now, is it?
No,
Just something else.
Yeah, dude, Mike Flanagan. I don't remember. I'm sorry, but he's hit or miss, man. He did Hush.
Yeah.
Flanagan, yeah. He did Hush, which was amazing. He also did Oculus, which sucked. He did Haunting on Hill House, which was terrible. But Midnight Mass, man, is one of the best shows I've watched in so long. It had such an amazing script. It, was just so well done. So many good monologues, so many like spooky ass cinematography, and just like pacing. It was great. It was great. Yeah, it's like, and the location was awesome. It was like, I would love a Resident Evil game that's there.
I was waiting for Kevin to chime in with his picks for TV shows, but I bet you he's watching. I don't think he's on today. He's watching
Apple announcements over already.
And now, as far as music, I have a question for you real quick before we get into your music choices. With your name being Jake, are you allowed to listen to anything less than Jake?
Oh my gosh. You're so fired.
I've never even heard of what are you talking about?
You don't know less than Jake? One of the greatest ska bands of all time?
I couldn't even name you a song they do, but I just thought it would be funny. I'm sure Matt knows very well.
I know plenty. Yes.
I'll go listen to some ska music after this.
Yeah.
that's exactly what Monday morning was missing.
So what do you listen to while you're working?
I listen to all kinds of stuff. I love Idols. It's this punk band from Bristol, and they're wonderful. Oh my God, they are so good. It's like super heavy duty neoliberal punk music. Nice. But it's great, dude. The actual, the lyrics are great. The sound is just wonderful. They're super, super talented. I'm going to see them in LA in November. I couldn't be more excited. But I also listen to a shit ton of soundtrack music. And a lot of like Old Norse music. Yeah, I'm really, really into a lot of Northern European history and Old Norse history, particularly between like 800 AD and about 1200. So, a lot of stuff that's rooted in that type of stuff, and even stuff before that, like a lot of Proto-Germanic music. It's bizarre, but it's cool, man. I definitely vibe out.
Mostly when you're working, or just all the time?
Honestly, the music when I work and the music when I'm not working, it's all kind of the same. I just just always listening to whatever I'm feeling at the time. I listen to a lot of soundtrack music. The King soundtrack is wonderful. Nicholas Bertel, he's incredibly talented. He did Moonlight soundtrack as well, which is also phenomenal. I think that's my demo reel song. I listen to a lot of video game soundtracks. The Assassin's Creed Valhalla soundtrack is like a bajillion hours long, so that's some good Old Norse music too, and that's by one of my favorite Norwegian composers. The Witcher soundtrack is great. But what else? I also listen to a lot of really bluesy stuff, and
any sort of EDM techno stuff. Always gets me going when I'm doing graphics for some reason. I don't know why.
Nothing after 2002.
So pre-Skrillex.
Oh yeah. I definitely had. I definitely had a lot of that stuff that I was into. When I was younger, I would go to a lot of those shows and enjoy them and everything. But I just like a lot of.
Twin.
Yeah, no, Aphex Twin's still great. It's like I just listen to a lot of like older, Atlanta-based DJs and Detroit-based DJs from the 90s, and just like really heavy techno, not really EDM, not house or anything, but like straight up techno.
Bass Nectar. Remember that?
I used to love Bass Nectar, dude. I used to love Bass Nectar, but yeah, I can't tell you the last time I listened to a Bass Nectar
You
song.
at least have to hold on to the CD because you know,
yeah.
like when you pull up and someone's like asking about your stereo and you gotta show like you gotta push your stereo and show what them subs do. You gotta put in the Bass Nectar CD.
Right. Yeah.
You know, that was yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. No, my music taste is all over the place, man. Like I listen to a lot of Spanish music. I listen to a lot of jazz. I listen to a lot of Spanish jazz.
You don't listen to ska at all, though.
I don't.
Obviously.
I listen to ska. I'm very sorry about that. I've been a lot of Japanese jazz lately. Let's see. I'm just going through like my recently liked tracks. I love John Hopkins. He's great. You know, that's probably like if there's any kind of recent techno stuff or like just EDM in general, you can consider him either. Honestly, he's just so like I don't know, all over the place.
Kind of abstract. It's not really techno.
Yeah.
It's not. It's maybe more in the wheelhouse of Rat-a-tat in a way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Oh, just to quickly go back to movies real quick, I did see a kick-ass movie that you two would probably enjoy. It's called The Empty Man on HBO Max. Man, that's some excellent cosmic horror right there. The ending is kind of but like the concept is dope. And the first 20 minutes are just about the most perfect horror short I've ever seen in my life.
And that's on
Not a
HBO
fan of
Max.
What did you just say? You're not a fan of horror?
Yeah, I'm
it.
kind of the same. I try.
I'm too scared. I get too scared.
Man, I love that shit. It's just like a true good like spooky experience for me. It's kind of rare. You know, it's like there's really just not that much media that gets me. You know, but
what about Saw? Saw must have.
Yeah, Saw is just like gore porn, man. Like I just wasn't like of course I was a kid when that came out, so I'm like, oh, this is so cool, you know, just to be edgy. And like I go see him in theaters and I'm like, this is fun, you know. It's like very like, you know, the side of me that is like I guess would be into watching gladiators duke it out. That's kind of the same thing that you get out of watching those kind of movies. But yeah, it's just I don't know, it doesn't really do it for me anymore.
It makes me think of terrible things that my brain doesn't even want to think about.
We're all capable.
You know? Yeah.
There's a French term, I forget what it is, but it's a single word, and it means just like it translates to looking into the void, and that's what describes that feeling.
Interesting. Podcasts. Do you listen to podcasts?
Yes. I listen to a spooky podcast.
Nice.
It's called Radio Rental, and it's good. It's like it doesn't really have hosts as much. It's just real spooky stories told by real people, and it's kind of short. And there's not really that many of them out right now. It's very good. There's another one called Supernatural with Ashley Flowers that I really like, and she's got a wonderful voice, and she just goes through, you know, it's not really scary. It's just like more kind of mysteries or unsolved mysteries of just like weird shit that happens, you know, and like mostly in the U.S. Alien abduction stuff like that, cold cases,
you know,
spontaneous combustion. Yeah, the usual.
Yeah.
Swindled is a really good one. That's like just corporate espionage and just like fuck shit that, you know, a lot of big corporations do. I don't know if you guys know about like the Radion Girls. It'd be stuff like that, you know.
Radion Girls.
Yeah, basically in like, you know, the 30s there was this company that put glow in the dark numbers on watch faces, you know, and you had to use a very tiny brush to do it.
Yeah. And it was radioactive, right?
It's radioactive. Yeah. And they hired like all these girls to work there for like, you know, like 1 cent per watch face or something like that, you know, and every time you like dip the brush, you know, and you paint it and then you have to lick it. So they're all just like eating radiation and just, you know, their jaws would rot and stuff like that. And, you know, fun stuff. Yeah. But Swindled would be stuff like that, where it's just like a lot of like terrible shit that big companies would do and get away with. Let's see.
Rev says you can literally stop saw traps with a screwdriver and a gear. It's good to know.
It's good to know.
Just put a screwdriver in there. I guess he's got experience. I don't know.
I guess so.
Yeah. Yeah, they would lick the brushes. I do remember hearing about that.
Yeah, I think it's actually a Netflix piece that came out with it, like a movie or something like that. But I heard it was good.
Now, in the interest of time, remember before we started the show, you're like, "How are we ever going to fill up 2 hours?"
Dude,
it's been an hour and a half.
Yeah, we can keep going, man. I'll just
Okay, good.
let people know.
Good. Just making sure you don't have a hard out.
I can't believe it. I can't believe like how
That's
fast
what we
it goes
said you'd
by.
say.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
See, time goes by real fast when you talk about yourself, huh?
Yeah, it sure does. If anybody's good at that, it's me.
We watched Free Guy this weekend. That was pretty
was it good?
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
good.
was it good?
And there was something. Succession is back.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, such a good show. Oh my gosh, if you haven't watched
We watched for the first. We started What We Do in the Shadows or whatever.
I love
Like,
those
we-
vampires, man.
Yeah, we started it last night, and man, it's weird. This is the second time we've started it, but the first time I think both me and my wife were too preoccupied on our phones or something to pay attention. And then this time we were like all in, and
So
man,
good.
that's gonna be our show. That's our show
It's
now. It's
so
so
good,
funny.
The cast
Yeah.
is so balanced. I love all
Yeah.
their personalities. I vibe with that energy vampire so hard. Dude, Colin Robinson is just amazing.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Like his eyes light up every time he starts draining somebody, like drolling about something.
I'm gonna have to check that
man.
out. I've
Oh,
heard
it's-
of it. I just don't
it's
know much
funny.
about it.
The
Yeah.
original movie's really good too. The original
The
movie's by
original
the same
movie's
guys.
hilarious.
Yeah, they did Flight of the Conchords, and now Taika's doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Did Thor Ragnarok, and I think he's working
Star
on Love and
Wars.
Thunder right now. Star Wars, yeah,
Yeah.
he's awesome.
Too many mother uckers. I miss that show, Flight of the Conchords. And you go,
Funny,
Yeah.
man. It's so dry. It's like the driest of dry.
is that on HBO Max? Wasn't it an HBO
It is.
show?
Yeah.
Is it on there? I'm
It's
gonna
on
check
Max,
that out. Okay, tough question, and you can't say a render engine in this as the answer. The question is, what is your favorite plugin?
Red Giant Suite in After Effects.
Okay.
Oh wow, that was quick.
Yeah, but that's a whole suite. Which one out of the
I
suite?
Magic Bullet.
Technically,
Okay.
okay.
Or Trap Code. But
Alright.
I love the look suite. I've been using it for probably 10 years at this point. It's
Wow.
like
Yeah.
it's just such a good grading package.
Mhm.
But I love Trap Code too. Trap Code has I'm not a particle guy. I don't like doing
Yeah.
particles. I know X particles, and I don't let anybody know I know X particles. But
Yeah.
I guess I just let 30,000 people know I like X particles. But it's very cool, everything that you can do. It's just sometimes a little overkill for a lot of stuff that I do, so I use particular all the time.
Yeah.
It's very, very easy. It's very flat. You can do a lot with it, but I just need to randomly clone a lot of stuff in After Effects. I just use X particles.
Interesting.
Use form too. But yeah, I don't know. It's like, dude, it's funny because it's like we're always pushing the craziest software to do the craziest things and the most heavy hitting stuff, and then I'm just spinning a logo for Old Navy,
Right.
Yeah.
90% of the time. And it's really, no, I love my job. I love that. It's like I can do what I do and also do that, and get paid for both.
Sarah. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that line.
Hippopotamus.
Hippopotamus. My rhymes are bottomless. Yeah, and then he just can't think of anything. Ah, man, I missed that.
Yeah.
I gotta check that out again. Favorite app. What is your go-to muscle memory app if you open up your phone?
Oh, my favorite app. I hate to say Instagram, but
Yeah,
it's like
that's
who
what
is
most
that?
people say.
Okay, excluding Instagram to make it a little more interesting.
Sure.
Probably Binance or Coinbase.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, always on.
You doing a
those
lot
two.
of crypto,
Oh yeah. I've
crypto coin stuff?
always done crypto. It's like I'm a big investor. It's funny because I don't touch NFTs, but
Yeah.
I'm a big crypto investor.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Need to
Okay.
get into those NFTs.
Yeah, I know. That just goes into that monetization thing. Honestly, I think if I'm, making work for a living during the day, and then I do personal NFTs for money at night, and it'll just turn into more work for me. It's like,
Yeah.
it kind of disturbs. Like, I don't have a problem selling stuff I've already made, but I think if I make something with the intention of selling it, it would spoil it. You know, it's like there's like a stickiness to my personal work.
Yeah, there's also a feeling like, you know, if you don't sell it, you're a failure.
Yeah, it's like I don't need that.
Which is like, no, do you know how much money I'm making actually doing client work for stuff? Who are people who are willing for me to work for them?
It's like it's weird, but yeah, it's like I make enough. You know, it's like yeah, of course it would be nice to get that booster, but it's like I work myself for a living, you know, and it's like, and I'm not discrediting anybody who does NFTs, obviously, because like what's his name made like millions of dollars, you know. It's like I see Raf Rossetti popping off, I see like all these people, I see Aryev making a shit ton from it. I'm like, yeah, you guys live your lives, like that's awesome. I'm so stoked for you. You know, and who wouldn't like to make that much money, you know, and like who wouldn't like to do that stuff? But it's just like it puts me in kind of a vulnerable state, because like you said, you know, it's like I don't want to, I know I won't be a failure if I don't sell it, but I know that'll creep in. I know myself, you know, and it's like
it's the meme of the guy with the, you know, pointing to his brain, and it's like, you know, can't fail at NFTs if you don't release any.
There it is. It's like, you don't miss a single shot that you don't shoot.
You mentioned video games earlier. What are your favorite video games?
Oh, dude, Amazon's first game came out, New World.
Really?
It's a MMO, and it's like huge. It's breaking so many records. It had like 1 million people day one.
What platform is this on?
On PC. It's on Steam, and it's like $40. Like, you pay it once, that's it. No subscription, no anything, and it is phenomenal.
What is it called?
It is New World.
New World. All right, I'm looking that up now.
It looks pretty.
New World.
Dude,
it looks very that one game. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
Dude.
That one game.
That one game. Yeah.
The one with the 45-minute intro.
Oh, Skyrim?
Skyrim. Yeah.
You said 45-minute intro. I was like, okay, Skyrim. I was thinking
Skyrim. It kind of reminds me of I don't know if you guys ever played any of the Dragon Age games that BioWare did. You know, there was 3 of them. Feels a little bit like the third one as far as like just moving your character around and stuff, but it's a cool era. It's like, you know, kind of like colonial era, you know, of like people from like Spain and England and stuff, but instead of coming to America, they kind of stop at this island in the middle of the Pacific, and it's full of demons. So it's like, you know,
fun.
It's pretty cool. And it's just, I think what's cool about it is there's a ton of like crafting and stuff. You know, it has a totally player-based economy. There's no like, you know, in-game economy or anything like that. It's completely dictated by players. It has totally player-based, you know, social hierarchies and politics and stuff like that. It's very dense. You know, you make a lot of stuff. You can buy a house, build a chair, you know, whatever you want to do, cook a meal, you know, fish. But you know, there's a lot of combat and stuff, and I don't know. It's like, it's hard to explain unless you've really been in it. But it's just got so much to do, and it's so dense and unforgiving, you know, that it's like hard to put it down, because it's like a real challenge. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a huge fan of the Dark Souls games, so you know those are stupid hard, and this is a lot like that.
Yeah, these types of games I have tried to get into, and I can't quite get into them. Not like Halo or
games that you have to like and like, you know, like do a lot to like something.
Yeah, I need like brainless killing that I can just pick up and put down.
Those are fun. Those are a lot of fun. There's a good zombie one that just came out called Back for Blood, and that's a good mindless. It's kind of like a reboot on Left 4 Dead.
Do you play Halo at all, or no?
Oh yeah, I was a huge Halo fan. Yeah, I'm excited for the new one.
Halo 5? Do you play Halo 5? You gotta get in our group.
The last one I played was 4. Yeah,
you're gonna have to get in our group.
Yeah. I haven't touched a console in a long time. I do just about everything on PC. Is Halo 5 on PC? I don't know. I don't keep up with
it's not.
No, but
it's
the
like
new one will be.
The only one not on PC.
Yeah,
Convenience.
The new one will be.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're gonna
I'm
do a December 12th Halo Day.
Oh, cool.
Gonna do another Halo Day.
That'll be fun.
Once that comes out.
Halo Infinite.
Did you guys play all the OGs? You play Combat Evolved and Halo 2 and everything?
I didn't. I've only played 5. That's it.
What?
Three
Oh, that's
three
fun.
up for me.
Nice.
Three
Yeah.
up,
Three was great. 3 was one of the best games of all time.
Three
That was-
in the multiplayer that lasted forever. Plus, the
my
new
God,
version of it
lasted
was
for
this.
so long.
Yeah, it was like the new version of it was the same multiplayer when they came out with the new. They're like, yeah, we got a new game, but the multiplayer stays the same, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
yeah.
It wasn't broken, so don't fix it.
Yeah. Now, I'm hearing things about, like, I think Cam and a couple other people were talking about the new one has some things that are a little different, like the parkour and some of the
I'm excited,
thrusts
though.
and stuff. You know, they brought it all in by default for 5, and now it's kind of scaling back, and I'm a little worried that I'm gonna feel like my hands
Am I gonna
are
feel
tied.
too slow? Am I gonna be able to run in this one? Like,
Probably. At least
Well,
you can
better.
run now.
When Reach came out, they did a lot of different stuff, and everybody loved Reach. I loved Reach. Like they had jetpacks and everything like that.
Yeah.
And that was fun. But yeah, I'm happy for innovation. I also love that the whole game just looks like it was like rendered on diffuse, basically. Like it's just not stupendous looking, but it's
Yeah.
very well rounded and it's very true to itself. There's something super nostalgic about the way that it looks, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that looks so comfortable to run around it. I'm very excited for that.
There's like still levels that to this day it's like they do throwback levels and stuff are like, oh, it's so ugly. Like there was one time our whole team got attacked because we're all designers and we were standing there looking
Looking at the ground.
well, we were looking at these intersecting geometry, and we're like, "Oh, look how crappy this is right here." And then we're
So
like,
it just pulls
"Oh,"
up the page.
and then all of a sudden we were all being shot. Whoops. So
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's definitely crazy how far games have come. It's what's really cool about this Amazon game is it's only a 35 gig download, but that game is huge, and it's because Amazon's streaming most of the game, like the geometry and lighting and everything. So you turn your settings down to low on the game, and it still looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
That's
Because
interesting.
so that's cool. I think they're doing a lot of big innovative stuff for it, but yeah, it was big when it came out. The first week it was like 8-hour queues to log in because there's so many people trying to get in.
dude.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I'd like throw it on at like 6 a.m, get to work, and then by the time I got off work, I could play.
All right, last question before we go to the drop, and that is your favorite life hack. And this can be something like funny, or it could be something useful. And the example we always give is that Mitch Myers says, put your toaster on its side for some bomb-ass grilled cheese. Now, that's kind of a fun hack, but it can be productivity too.
Yeah. Does it have to be legal?
No,
I'm just kidding.
No?
I'm just kidding. I won't go there.
but be careful what you say.
Yeah, straight up. I gotta think about that. I can't. Let's see. Well, I can't tell you my favorite, but I can tell you my most recent. I don't have enough room for 2 radiators for 3090 hybrids, so one of my radiators is just hanging out of the front of my machine. I just literally open the front of it and remove some panels, and it's just chilling, open air. I can't think of any like good actual hacks though. That's
It always comes to you after the fact, right?
Yeah, literally.
So as soon as we go to the drop, you're gonna be like, oh,
there it is.
yeah.
Oh, I know. Figure out the door frame that you most often walk under and put pull-up handles under it.
Ah, that's a good one.
So every time you walk under, just do 1 or 2.
Yeah,
It's the only exercise.
that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, trick yourself. Because if you don't, you'll
Trick
just feel
yourself
bad.
into working out.
Yeah, you'll feel terrible if you walk under it and don't do anything.
Right.
Just stare at it the whole time because it's so it's such a shape, and you're just like, yeah.
Yeah. Secretly judging you the entire time.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Matt, are you ready for the drop?
Yeah, let's go to the drop.
Let's do it. Here we go.
Drop.
Is this the fucking mic?
Drop.
This is exactly what I should be doing.
What's up, and welcome to this week's episode of The Drop, your weekly source for all things NFT and crypto art, as well as upcoming drops by notable people in the Mograph industry. I'm Matt Milstead, as always. Joining us is Dave Koss, and joining us today is Jake Ferguson. So, yeah, let's get into some of these drops. I'm a little annoyed by Nifty Gateway. I'm not going to do a drop on Nifty Gateway, talk about their drops, because I honestly I don't know. They changed up their entire schedule to not be like Monday to Sunday, and they're now changing them like Thursday to Wednesday, but they didn't post this last week's schedule, so like the only one that I would have is today's. So I'm just not going to worry about it. I need to if someone has a contact with Nifty Gateway, just I want to talk to them about like getting me stuff in advance so that I can actually like, you know, do things. Anyway, other than that, we got a couple of cool drops on Maker's Place this week. The first one is tomorrow from Lush Sucks. Lush Sucks is doing a piece called Lush Zucks.
Lush Zucks? Am I guessing?
Lush Zucks.
Like, is that a Zuckerberg reference?
It's a Zuckerberg reference.
Okay. I'm trying to get to my dang notes, and they're not working correctly. Hold
your
on.
dingus. Get into the dingus.
My dingus.
There's the link if
go.
you want it, Dave.
I've got the link. There we go. Maker's Place.
Here we go.
Lush Sucks. There we go.
Lush Sucks.
There we go.
So, Lush Zucks. This is so good. Keep going down. Keep going.
Oh, it looks like I can hit play.
Yeah, there you go. Delete this. So
That's cool.
anyway, if y'all know
I like
Lush
the
Sucks,
drone.
Lush
What's up with
Sucks.
the drone here?
I don't know. I think they're taking video. You know. Oh,
There it
there you
is.
go. Nice. So Lush Sucks is doing another drop on the 19th and stuff. So that'll be fun. Then on the 20th, here we go for corporate drops. Yeah, Chloe and Twix are doing a drop on the 20th.
Because when I think NFTs,
When I think
of
NFTs,
Twix.
I think of Twix.
Yeah.
So
This is funny though.
yeah, Chloe does
left
these
and
super
right
illustrative
Twix?
stuff. I would assume so, yes.
Because they're facing different
So-
ways.
Yeah, except the moon is facing a different way too. That wouldn't
that's
be the
cheating.
case.
They just flipped
Yeah,
it.
they just flipped it.
That's not cool.
So
That's
anyway.
not cool. Aw.
Yep. That's on the 20th. And then on the 21st, I'm really excited about this one. This one is really cool. Perry Cooper and Late Night Renders did a collaboration together. This stuff looks super killer. I love it. Once Dave brings it up. You guys can see
Sorry.
what
I'm
it
sitting
looks
here
like.
looking at it, and
Sorry. Yeah, I know, right?
I was like, "Oh, this is really cool." Oh, you guys aren't watching it.
So
Yeah.
Perry
Wow.
Cooper and
This
Late
is
Night
great.
Renders,
Whoa.
like gorgeous stuff.
Wow.
I really
Liquid
like these
though.
things.
Hold on. I want to see
Right?
that liquid again. Hold on. Can I zoom
Right?
out a little bit? I feel like I'm zoomed in too much.
Yeah, you are pretty zoomed in.
There we go.
But, like, look at
Look
that.
at
That's
that.
God,
gorgeous.
that liquid looked good.
Mm.
I wonder
That's a
what that
tasty
was.
camera.
That porcelain looks nice.
Yeah.
Looks real nice. So anyway, that one is super pretty. I'm really excited about that one. I think those ones look great. Yeah. So that's it
huh?
as far as drops.
How
I
can
mean,
how can we work this out with
I don't
Nifty so that it's not midweek because everything is over by the time Monday shows
yeah, I
up.
don't know. Maybe we have to do. I don't know. I don't want to do another drop show, you know, on
No.
like Thursday or
No.
something when they do it. And it's just like I don't know.
There's got
I have
to
to
be
do
a way
it
we can get
myself,
this
like
stuff.
an hour out of the day. Hey,
Yeah.
everybody, this is
Yeah.
us making up for Nifty being suckers. Anyway,
David's
whatever.
piece sold this week for
Yes,
40 ETH.
for 40 ETH, which is
Yeah.
Holy
awesome.
shit.
Yeah,
That's great.
Yeah.
So congrats to him. That was his whales in space piece that he did
Yeah.
a couple of years ago. So big shout out to him. That's great.
And then Ronald Marks actually decided to do his as
Mhm.
well because he saw David doing like long form
Yeah.
NFT stuff, and he sold his for 33 ETH. And David
Which
was
is
like,
awesome.
well, that's a good example of like marketing and circumstance and chance and all of this, right? Like, because David was like, well, his piece should have sold for more than mine.
Yeah, but
was what he commented on that, and it's like, it's just luck of the
it's
draw.
all
right?
about it's all about
And
now. It's not
promotion
luck of the
and-
draw.
Well, some
It's-
of
it's-
it, luck of the
it's,
draw, promotion, following.
promotion, yeah, marketing yourself. You know, like an artist isn't going to make anything if they don't, if they just put a piece up and just sit there. You know, like you have to be out there, like talking to collectors and stuff. It's a full-time job.
Yeah,
you know?
that's a lot of work.
It is. It's a full-time job. So, but yeah, I mean, congrats to both of them. That's still a lot of money.
yeah.
I know.
You know, I wouldn't balk at 33 ETH. Hell, I'm upset right now at the mecha floor, which is a whole nother thing. Let's talk mechas because
Let's do that.
Actually, let's talk collections right now because collections are like the big thing that are going on. We've picked up a couple like the Visitors and Bone World and stuff like that. I really like these. I'm about to pick up another one. Actually, Dave, can you bring this up? These ones are cool. I really like these. They're called Slim Hoods.
Oh, the
Now I
Slim
offer
Hoods,
no
yeah.
financial information
Right.
at all. Always buy NFTs at your own risk. But I came across these on Twitter and I really liked them. Is it Dave? You should have them in the notes.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, there you go.
Mhm.
So, but I like that they're like animated and stuff. They're cool, And this artist, the artist behind it, has been around for a while and has done some stuff that we've all seen, So, but yeah, it's cool. Like you get different hoods and different like hoodies and pants and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's cool. I like it. So yeah, this one's actually mint starts in like 7 minutes. So I'm gonna pick one of these up while we're doing this.
Nice.
So the question about 7 minutes and 39 seconds, and the question about it, of course, becomes like, on any of these collections now, is this legit? Is this a pump and dump? It's like the Wild
absolutely.
West.
Yes,
right now.
It is 100% the Wild West, and you never know whether it's a pump and dump or not. For example, if you bring up Dave, bring up that Twitter link, from Soul NFT Trader. So especially from what I hear in the Solaris marketplace or whatever, you're getting a lot of these people who are just pump and dumping,
Right.
where it's like, well, where they'll create these things, they'll sell them off, and then they'll literally
Disappear,
just pull the
roll up
rug.
in a Lambo the next day.
Yeah, exactly. So this one was one. I don't know what the name of the thing was. Oh, the Soul Guardians NFT.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're even around, but they were literally about to like start doing their minting, and someone found out that they had just pulled a $30 Unity plugin and were creating all the avatars from that randomly, and it's like, well, that's kind of shitty, and it's also against Unity's terms of service because they all have to be used in game. You can't be selling them as NFTs. And it's like, how crappy is that? So it's like, I don't know. You got to kind of do a little bit of research when it comes to these collections. And the number one thing, like the biggest thing this week, freaking mechas. Like, the mechs were insane.
Okay,
like,
let's talk about this from the beginning though, because you have to
start
tell
from the
everybody your
beginning.
story.
Yeah,
first
let's
of
start
all.
from the beginning, right? Does no one know?
No,
Okay,
we
anyway.
haven't had a show yet.
Okay, we haven't had a show. All right,
Yeah.
so let's start from the beginning of mechas. Mechas, like, were these really highly detailed 3D animation, collections and stuff. If you don't know, if you're kind of like, if you're on Twitter and you haven't seen these mechas, it's like, I'd be surprised. So there was a Forbes magazine article about them where they went from, to up to 250,000 Discord members in like a matter of months, which is insane to me. It's the fastest growing Discord, and this is one of the fastest like it's one of the top 20 like assets sold or something like that, whatever the term is on OpenSea, right? And so they had a bunch of trouble like minting them. I don't know if it was minting them, but like there was a few times where they delayed and they were like, okay, we're going to do it this day. Now we're going to do it this day, And so pre-sale happened. 176,000 people entered, And so if you had to enter and then you'd come back the next day and find out to see if you won, And if you won one, it was like $710 to mint, which is like pretty cheap, for one of the highest wanted, everyone I knew was trying to get a mecha. And sure enough, I won one. I was really happy, so I minted one for $710, And so they hadn't released what they looked like yet. And they were supposed to release them. They were originally supposed to release them, I believe, on the 10th. And then, it starts getting close to the 10th and they're like, okay, no, we're actually going to release them on the 12th. It's like, seriously? Okay. So they had to come, like, they basically delayed the reveal. So everyone's got these mechas in OpenSea that are just like this logo, and people are selling them and selling them and selling them. And the floor for these mechs go up to like almost 9 ETH at one point, And it's like, that is insane for mechs that you don't even know what they look like. So this is going to be a super popular, this is going to be great. This is, they made $45 million and then like $100 million in secondary sales. There's a ridiculous amount of money being thrown around, right? And then the reveal they're like, okay, like literally like 30 minutes before the reveal is supposed to happen, they push it off another 4 hours. And then by the end of that 4 hours, they're like, sorry, guys, we need another day. We noticed some look very similar. We need to re-render all 8,888 of these mechs, right?
On how many 3090s?
They were doing it. They were rendering the entire project across 4 machines, or 4 machines that each had 3 3090s in it. And it's like, yo, I can help you out there. Do you need some help?
That's
we
like
got
me
at
and
least
you.
that among us, right? That's like me and you rendering the entire thing. So anyway, and so like it started creating like this like real uneasiness, in the Discord and stuff. And like you've got the 2 creators that really aren't like, they're not active in the Discord. And like for people who I guess like do these collections and stuff, you can see really popular ones are the ones who are really active and have like a really good, what's the word? Like future planned out. What's the word? I don't know. Anyway, I can't remember. I don't know what the word is. I can't think. I'm so tired right now. I'm on like day 2 and no caffeine.
Foresight? Is that the word? What are you looking?
Oh, like
yeah.
Your plan ahead. What's your plan? What's the plans for the future? Come on, people. Where's my chat at?
Foresight.
Anyways.
I don't know.
No, whatever. Anyway, they've got great future plans.
Foresight.
Yeah. No, it's not foresight. Foresight's predicting the future. That's what they're talking about.
Insight?
Roadmap. Holy crap.
Okay.
So thank you. Roadmap. As long as a lot of the collections, as long as they've got a good roadmap and they're like talking in the Discord and stuff and they're active, like people feel very confident about. Oh, my timer just went off. I got to go buy one of these things. So anyway, people feel like really confident about like the future of this and that what they're spending will be well, And so as soon as the drop actually happened a day later, once they had to re-render them, they started happening. Everyone was really excited. They look beautiful. They still look beautiful, And then something happened to where one person who was like a part of the team or like something had gotten one that was really, really rare, like super duper, like legendary rare. And yeah, super rare. So, and everyone was like, oh, this is BS. They just picked people, like the API got leaked. They knew this, blah, blah, blah. And so between that and them, like, not being talkative and like, not active and not having a good roadmap, as soon as they got revealed and the rarities started coming out, everyone started selling. It went from 9 ETH. It is currently at 1.53 ETH.
I don't know.
So
it's hard to say.
you
I
could
feel like
pick
this
up a
had
Mecca
such
right
a
now.
great build-up, though. Like,
Yeah, I agree. You could pick up a Mecca right now for like, what is it? What ETH is like 3,700 or something? Ups times 1.56 is the floor. For $5,700, you could pick up a Mecca. You know?
yeah, and it was 20
like,
grand the other day.
it was like it went up to 30 grand the other
Yeah.
day, which is insane to me. That's crazy.
You and your dang
you
luck
know?
with these things, though, man. I don't know how you
No, it's
you win
it's
everything, you sell everything high somehow.
I haven't. I haven't sold
well.
like the only thing that I didn't win a Beeple. We all bought a Beeple. You know, I just so happened to sell it at the right time because it was basically driving me absolutely insane having this thing that was worth so much money that I was constantly pricing it at the lowest price point in order to try and get it sold. Right? I was active on it. I couldn't do any work for that like 2-month span. You know. Anyway,
I think
so. But what's upsetting is the Mechaverse stuff. Like, if you look at all of them, you can see them all on OpenSea. They're gorgeous. They're beautiful. You know. I still believe very much in this project, and I would say if you're going to get into it, you know, that's a really good price point to get into it. You know. I still think Mechaverse is going to do well.
Right
and
now.
it's just going to take a couple months, which is fine. I wasn't planning on selling my mech at least until January because I don't want to pay the friggin' taxes on it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But it's the Wild West right now. It's like it's like stocks. There's no regulation. It's insane. Yeah. There's scams everywhere. And they're calling it Web 3. Web 2, well, Web 2 was what they were calling Web 2.0 back in 2005, you know, dig.com and all of that was Web 2.0, and now they're saying this is Web 3, the crypto, all of that. Blockchain.
I think jumping back to Mechaverse, you know, I think there were a lot of people trying to like create like this. There was a lot of people who were angry that they just didn't get picked, you know, and so like, oh, I didn't win the lottery. The lottery's rigged, right? Oh, I didn't win the election. The election's rigged.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. You know, there's just a bunch of people who were super butthurt about not being picked that like, they're like, oh yeah, this is totally fake, blah, blah, blah. You know, it didn't help that someone from the team happened to buy it on the secondary market, you know, and it just so happened to be a legendary one. But they have since released all this stuff saying, no, like everything was legit. This is a legit project. Here's more things about it. But you can't, like the initial like tweet storm and like whatever about all the negativity that got brought onto them at the beginning has really hurt their brand, you know?
Well,
anyway,
here's the thing about that. Apparently there's some sort of, when these are minted and you don't know what they are, apparently there's some sort of spreadsheet and thing about how they figure out what's going to be inserted where. And we're going to have to talk to Billy about this because I do not understand the intricate workings of setting up these collections whatsoever. Like, I just don't. And Billy was explaining stuff in a way that I'm failing to reiterate right now, but made total sense to me when he explained it. And he's going to be on the show in a few weeks, and I think we're going to have a really, really in-depth conversation about NFTs and crypto and passwords and MetaMask and all the things.
Well, I can't get a slim hood because I don't have enough money to cover the frickin'
gas fees.
The gas fees.
Yeah,
dude.
I mean, are you surprised?
Gas fees are literally twice what the actual like minting cost is, which is ridiculous.
There's also a lot of people who are getting people to do stuff on Fiverr and then minting it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like those kind of scams. Yeah. And there's so many things. There's mutant cat. Are mutant cats good?
I have no idea.
Mutant cats? I thought you put a link to that somewhere as well. I don't know.
Did I? No. Okay. So the mutant cats thing is, and this is another thing. Okay. So mutant cats, and you got to be wary of this stuff because, like, okay, so mutant cats are a new thing that are supposed to create secondary, like, man, how do I explain this? Okay. So there's these certain NFTs that you buy, this certain collection, right? You buy them and you are gifted, like with mutant cats, you're gifted fish, right? So you get 10 fish a day, right? And then for like say 600 fish, you can offspring to a child or something like that, which you can then sell on the secondary market or something like that. So you get they say you're creating passive income by just like getting these fish, or you could sell the fish that you get per day. Like, say they're worth like $1. Oh, there's $9 per day that you can sell. And so you're getting passive income because people are, but the whole thing with this is, and this is the frustrating part is, it's all a game, right? That part is all a game. And if people are not playing the game, you're not going to make passive income, I don't know. It's the crypto Kongs, I think, were one of the first collections to do this with like bananas and stuff like that. And then these mutant cats are another one, but it's like eventually someone's going to stop playing the game, and eventually, you're not going to be making bananas or fish anymore. You're not going to be making passive income. It's 100% reliant on people playing the game.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I can't buy a Slim Hood, and I'm sad about it.
Oh, we have a community drop that we need to mention.
Yes. I don't have the email. Is it in the,
it's from Gaten.
the show notes?
It's from
Gaten
yeah. Simone. He he's OG listener from back in the day. He used to send us emails all the time. If you remember the limited edition Gaten Simone,
the very limited
shirt
edition
that we had, the computer and the blobby things coming out of it.
Yeah.
He says, "Hey guys, just wanted to hit you up and share 2 projects I recently worked on. One is a generative NFT project called Block Party, just a bunch of goofy FreshCake themed faces on squares. Super fun to figure out how to automatically export variations of different characters from Photoshop quickly using a script found here. Ooh, he sent it. Don't tell anybody." Yeah, I'm just kidding. And a little organization. I did have to tweak the script a bit to get it to work overall, but it was a really fun experiment. Second is a VR project I work on for Nickelodeon this past year.
That's fun.
That posted in August. I think the Mograph community would find it interesting. Using After Effects character animation and some 2D animated scenes from Harmony, we managed to stitch together a 3-minute VR piece of content. The challenge was taking 2D assets made for TV and converting them over to an equirectangular image. I don't know how to say that. This was achieved by creating the room first as an... Why does he keep putting this word in there? As an equirectangular image, then placing the characters with alphas on top using a bulge effect to skew them worked pretty well. A few small things I would have done differently, but overall it was a nice challenge. Lincoln, guy in the couch, and Lucy, girl in the fireplace, are character animator puppets. Hope you guys are doing well, and link below. So let me bring up the NFT page for FreshCake. You've probably seen these on the Instas and things. So all of these right here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
So I just so happen to have the Apple thing just playing in the background, and I look over. Jules is actually on it.
Oh, wow.
Is he on stage?
Yeah, he was on at around 29 minutes.
Oh,
that's hilarious.
They just they cut to him and he's talking. I don't know what he's saying because
we're
I
gonna
can't
have to
see
get
it.
a clip of that now for sure.
Ooh,
And,
FreshCake. Okay, so it's actually on. Okay,
it's on
cool.
OpenSea, yeah. And then the other link, which isn't NFT related, but I'll just bring it out here so we can see it. I'll put this in the show notes for the episode. This is title. I missed the title. 360 VR with Lincoln and the Loud House family. And so let me go back to full screen so you can see that here. Yeah, he's such a great artist. And if you follow his Instagram, he puts all of his sketches and all doodles and all the things that he's working on. So make sure you check him out. Put a link to his Instagram and everything in the show notes as well. So check that out.
Very cool.
And, yes. I had notes all over the place today. Got some crypto crypto notes that I will put in the show notes. Just some funny things. Like there's a video called "If Cryptocurrency Was Honest." Just kind of a funny video. I don't know if you've seen that one or not.
I haven't. No.
Yeah, so you'll have to check that out. So anyway, look who it is. Hey man,
Hi, Dorby.
I just came by to wish Dave congrats on his new litter.
Yeah, no, that one was coming. Okay.
Yeah, I was just talking to my English bulldog friend about NFT Shark's advice the other day, and he took it to heart, and he started making money.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, so NFT Shark is here again. He's got a new crypto tip for you this week. I was looking forward to those. And by the way, before I go, you know how you can tell the difference between a bulldog and an English bulldog?
Their accent?
The accent. Yeah.
I was right.
Okay, bye. Oh, all right. I guess NFT Shark is on his way in. I guess they can't be in the same room at the same time. You know, something like that. So, there he is.
Strange.
Bro.
I would just like to remind everyone that NFT Shark's advice does not constitute.
It's not legally binding.
Is not legally binding. We do not support NFT Shark's views on.
Bro.
What's up?
Bro.
What's up?
Bro.
Yeah.
Look. You gotta go out there. Here's
Okay.
what you're gonna do. You gotta get yourself some of this new coin. It's called Yeezy Coin.
Yeezy?
Yeezy Coin? Yeezy Coin?
Easy or Yeezy?
Bro,
Oh my
Yeezy Coin. Bro, it's overrated. It's hyperinflated, and it has a smug sense of self-worth. Everything you need in a crypto coin. Yeezy Coin. Yeah, but if you could just help us socialize this and just get it out there in the space. We're really excited about it in this space. So, Yeezy Coin. Make sure you buy that. All right, I got to hasta la bye-bye. I'll catch you later.
All right, cool.
Yeah, he doesn't do the shark puns.
Thanks.
You just look forward to his coins, and it won't be every week.
All right,
I'll continue the dog
Thank
puns.
you for explaining it, Dave.
Yeah, I just, I thought you were worried. You just have to know, Yeah. Any other crypto things we want to talk about this week?
Jake, you got any drops or any available crypto art? Nope.
Not right now. I got something big coming up at some point soon. Don't really have a date for it yet, but it was a really cool collaboration.
You got to make sure you send it to us.
Twix,
with Twix.
or Tide Pods or something.
Potentially
like that.
Tide Pods, yeah.
Yeah, Tide Pods.
Yeah, no, I'll make sure to send it you guys' way before it's coming out and let you know when it's coming. But yeah, it'll be a good one. It's a collaboration that I've been trying to get at for a while, so I'm happy that. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Rock on.
Cool.
All right. Cool.
All right, that it for the drop?
Well, yeah. If anyone else has a drop that they would like us to shill on the show, feel free to send us an email, info@mograph.com, and we will shill it and get and make sure all the man, I'm learning all sorts of new terms
sharding
fudding, like all the
fungible.
You know what
fungible
are?
Sounds like
I
a
had to look
sponge
this
with
up.
fungus on it.
I don't know what fudding
Fear,
means.
uncertainty, and doubt. All the fudders,
Wow.
Yeah.
who are just like angry, and the paper hands. I knew paper hands, then
so much
diamond
to
hands.
keep up with,
man. I'm
I'm
telling
not
you.
in enough Clubhouse audio chats.
Holy, dude, the amount of Discords I'm in now. Just because I'm liking the
Turn off
collections
those
and
DMs,
stuff.
though.
Yeah, I
God,
know.
those DMs.
Definitely. Turn off all your DMs on your global DMs or
so
whatever on Discord.
Stupid.
You will get hacked so
Hey,
fast.
you got to do this thing. You got to click on this thing. Check out
My
this
God,
new current. I mean,
dude.
just it's Crypto Shark.
It's Crypto Shark. Yeah.
Yeah. Minus the fun and the puns.
Crypto Shart. Yeah.
Crypto Shark. Yeah. Just
All
ask
right,
Crypto
cool.
Shark. He'll bite.
Yeah.
See,
Where's my bell?
I could throw him in
There it
there.
is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, well, let's get out of the drop.
Let's get out of the drop.
Is this the fucking mic? This is exactly what I should be doing.
All right. Jake, thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
today.
It's been fun. I appreciate
Yeah.
you guys having me on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
If people want to find you on the interwebs, where can they find you at?
You can find me on my Instagram at Wandering Animal. You can find me on Twitter, which I rarely use these days, at Jake_Ferguson_.
I was gonna say, I looked up Wandering Animal on Twitter, and it's like, that is not you.
Somebody has it, man. I'm
Yeah.
pissed.
Oh man, that's so random.
That's what I get for joining Twitter like this year. It's my own fault.
That's funny.
Yeah, you can also find my email and other contacts on my website, which is just jferguson.tv,
Awesome.
along with all my work.
Cool.
Cool, man.
Yeah, well, thanks again, guys. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
been fun.
thank you.
We're going to get out of here. You can rate us on iTunes, leave a review, helps get our ratings up. Subscribe on your podcatcher of choice. We've also got that newsletter that you can subscribe to on the site. You can say you've been there, done that, got the t-shirt with the Mograph logo tee, the classic Feel the Bab shirt, Feel the Bab 2020. All the profits from that go to Doctors Without Borders. Render Things t-shirt, hoodie, and long sleeve tee. Hey, it's that time of year for that. You know, get yourself one of those. Especially that hoodie, the Render Things hoodie. Yeah. You can have your pumpkin spice latte, stay warm, you know, and whatnot. And the That Render is Fire shirt, which you're only allowed to wear ironically, unless you're shams.
Unless you're shams. Yeah.
And then the Mograph Blandishment shirt as well. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Mograph.com. Make sure you check us out there. Look at the TikToks. We got some good TikToks.
Yeah, we
some
do.
TikToks that you might not see in certain places unless you're on a Reels page or something on Instagram. So subscribe to us there, or whatever you call it over there. I don't know, follow. And maybe we could start some live stuff at some point if we can get the numbers up. Got to help me beat the numbers that my daughter has, because currently she is beating us. So yeah.
All right.
So yeah. So I guess that about wraps it up. Until next time, I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt.
And I'm Jake.
Have a good one.
Later, yo. I gotta show off the digs.
Crazy. Well, I'm going to stop my recording now.
Cool, man. Yeah.
Let's see how big that
Dude, so in Slim Hood, they were $185 per mint, but with the gas prices